Elephants in the Room. What's going on? Good to see everybody. Monday, the 30th. We're having a good day today, and we're trying to see what's going on with everybody. Make sure everybody cool. Go to Facebook. I'm sorry, YouTube. Like, subscribe, share. Hit the bell button so you can know whenever we come on live. Whenever we do different things. I usually like to record them, edit them, and then put them out. But I've been doing a lot of lives lately. Hope everybody doing well. The question is, it's really twofold. The first one is new normal or back to normal. We got this coronavirus thing going on. A lot of people ready to go get back to normal. But the question is it will it go back to normal? And I'm not coming from an area of doom and gloom, but I'm saying how much normalcy would it be? And so, in my opinion, I believe it's this right here affect not only the economy, but it affect social gathering. It affect a lot of different things. So I don't know how much normal it'll get back to. But one thing we have to do is we have to make a shift and adjust our normal. Okay. I remember I told my wife about even when that Hurricane Katrina happened down there, and it was crazy, and it just wiped out that whole community in Louisiana. And they did rebuild the French Quarter and rebuild the Saints Dome and where they play football at and all that. And then everybody who wasn't affected by it, they just went back to normal. You know what I mean? Or when floods or when wildfires happen, and we say, okay, go back to normal. But the people that was in it, it was not. It's not a back to normal. It's still affecting them to this day. Those different things still affect them to this day. So as a nation, COVID-19, Operation COVID-19 virus, CV, it affected everybody. You know what I mean? So we will always want to get back to normal and watch Sports Center and get back to normal and stuff like that. But it really, really drastically changed everything. So we got to get our shift. We got to make our shifts and make our adjustments. And that's just what I believe. But one thing I did think about is our dependency on the grid, our dependency on the system. Hopefully they won't take this video down because I want to get it out. But our dependency on the grid and the system. Me as a believer in Yahweh and his son Yehoshua, I have more trust, faith, and belief in him than the system. I don't disrespect the system. I don't disrespect the laws of the land, but I have my faith and trust in him. Some people say God and country. I just say God, Yahweh, period. You know what I'm saying? Maybe because our outlook, maybe because our upbringing, maybe because the way we've been treated in this country for 400 years. Maybe it's now I haven't got no actual whip across my back per se, but our ancestors, we got. Even today, we have some post-traumatic stress disorder, slave disorder, and different things like that, and even the police brutality, racism, white supremacy, on and on and on. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. My whole thing is to talk about depending on the grid so much. We depend on the grid so much, that we need an adjustment of our normal. We need to be, I'm not saying self-dependent, independent, but more, I think, I just made me think of these things while I'm here in the quarantine. Man, if you want fish, you just go to the store and buy fish. You know what I'm saying? Or you just go to JJ's and you buy you some fried fish or whatever. You don't have to learn how to cook it. You want chicken, you just go ahead and just go to the store and buy it. You know what I mean? And we depend too much on this grid. And I think we need to get back. Some people might think it's primitive. It's not survival of the fittest. It's not scary. Just hear me out. But I think we need to get back to some basic things. You know what I mean? So one thing is, that's thinking about fishing. Do you know how to fish? Do your children know how to fish? Feel what I'm saying? Berries. Do we know what berries are edible? Do we know what berries are not edible? Poison ivy, poison oak. What plants? Do we know what different herbs and plants is? Do we know how to grow a garden? Have we got away from a garden? You know what I mean? Different things like that I always think about, you know what I mean? And some people are like, oh man, he just going too deep, but it's gonna be okay in 8 weeks and we're gonna go back to normal and trust in the grid and what we just sitting waiting in our quarantine room waiting for Uncle Sam to tell us the next move, you know what I mean? And it's no disrespect, but you know what I mean, we gotta trust in Yahweh, you know what I'm saying? Do you know how to build a fire? Do you know how to make a fire? You feel what I'm saying? Do you know how to build? You know how to build anything? You know what I'm saying? So my whole thing is, um, do you know how to turn contaminated water, fresh water, to be drinkable? That's the stuff I think about. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna sit on my device and I'll be thinking about that kind of stuff, man. But we gotta. I think we should really know how to do that. You know what I mean? I know we bored, we sitting at home, and making a whole bunch of TikTok videos and slapping and clapping, and there's nothing wrong with that. But man, while we got access to the internet, while we got access to these different things, we should. I think we should learn these different things. Pick up a book about home gardening, right? Pick up a book about how to fish. Pick up a book about, different things like that. I think that's very, very important to know. You know what I mean? Because once you learn it, you can't unlearn it. Okay. And a shout out to all of the different pastors and preachers that went out yesterday, and I heard so many different words. It was just so great. You know what I mean? Bishop Blakely, he got on there and he gave an encouraging word, and then Bishop Sion Roberts and Bishop Walden, Apostle Walden at Faith Temple in Maryville, and just a lot of different. Oh, Pastor Bishop Dwayne Coleman, and I think I listened to Ramirez. I listened to a lot of them, but I was encouraged. I was fired up. You know what I mean? And one pastor, my brother, he was like, um, it's almost like not church hopping, but what is it called? Virtual church visiting or whatever. I forgot what he said, but I believe it is many members, it's one body, and all of them came from different scriptures. All of them came from different parts of the Bible, and it still was a blessing, man. But just think, if we would have, and Pastor Eric Boone too. I listened. He was going off in his living room. It was cold, but many members but one body. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't just us four no more. You ain't the only one with the word of God. Yahweh said, I got 7,000. It's probably more than that haven't bowed the knee to Baal when Elijah was kind of discouraged. Like, man, ain't nobody following the laws of Yah. Ain't nobody following the laws of the kingdom. He had to tell him, look, man, I got 7,000 that you don't even know about that ain't bowed their knee to Baal, man. So that was that, man. You know what I mean? And then one person said this, and then I'm gonna get into the subject today. The pastor had got arrested for having having a service. There's a difference between fear and precaution, and she gave the seatbelt. She gave the seatbelt analogy. It was real cool. It was like when you get in the car, you put your seatbelt on. You put the seatbelt on not out of fear, and you don't keep the seatbelt off because you in faith. I'm gonna drive down the highway in faith and don't put the seatbelt on. No, you put it on in precaution. You know what I mean? It's not saying that you don't have faith, but it's just precaution. You know what I'm saying? And so that was pretty interesting, right? That was pretty interesting right there. And so in this time, we can't be idle. I've looked at the definition of idle and stagnant. The definition of stagnant: having no current flow, dull, sluggish, no activity. So we just sitting at home, being idle, waiting for Uncle Sam to tell us what to do next, what we can't do, and what we can't do. Idle, spend time doing nothing. You know what I mean? I know we bored and we sitting at home. Man, we can do a lot of different things. We can do a lot of different things. You feel what I'm saying? Um, but there's a difference between being stagnant and idle and being still. Yahweh said, be still and know that I am God. You know what I'm saying? Still is not moving, motionless, and quiet. Quiet in your voice to hear what the next steps is. So it's a difference between being still and stagnant. We gotta be still so we can know what's going on next and not be busy with the next move. You know what I mean? And so we just gotta really know what's going on, man, out here. We'll get into that later. It is what's up, Tommy? It is 9 minutes into here. So I want to go right into it. All right. So Pastor Rodney Howard from River Church in Tampa, Florida, was booked, arrested, and charged for having a service. So we had different folk on here getting all upset and saying, "Oh man, that's persecution." You know what I mean? So I'm gonna give my example. I mean my analogy of what's going on with that in a minute. But he was arrested and charged for having church. He had two services Sunday. He got a big church, so he had two churches on Sunday. He had one at 9 a.m., with over 50 people. And then he had another one at 7 p.m. I'm gonna share the link to the story, and he quote unquote violated the what does it say he violated? He violated the he violated the safe at home order that was issued from that county on March 27th. It was a safe at home order that was issued on March 27th. He also, they said he violated Executive Order 20-5. You know what I'm saying? And the sheriff was saying it was a reckless disregard for human life to have his congregation assemble. And it was a reckless disregard for public safety. And so they put a warrant out for his warrant was unlawful assembly and a violation of the death rule. Oh, violation of health rule. I'm sorry, wrote real fast. And he got a 2nd-degree misdemeanor charge. So it was real tripped out. So a lot of folk was really tripping over that. And before that, we had another pastor in Louisiana on March 25th when it was still no gathering of 50 people or more, or Tony Spell from the Life Tabernacle Church in Baton Rouge, they warned him too. So on March 15th, the CDC recommended gatherings of 50 or more to be postponed, including festivals, parades, concerts, sporting events, weddings, etc. Canceled or postponed for 8 weeks. And so these guys were saying that they are essential. You know what I mean? Because they say right now we can do essential travel. And that's like going to Walmart, getting gas. If you got to go to a job, you go to the job. But if it ain't, a non-essential travel was, I think it said beauty shops, barber shops. They had a whole list of things, but it was essential and non-essential. And so Pastor Rodney Howard was saying, well, going to church and assembling is essential. And then so he was arrested in jail. So I had two people, two sides of the coin to it, and I'm getting off here. It's 12:17. One person was like, "Oh man, it's a persecution of the church. Da 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 da. We should be able to see what's going on with that." And then, but this is my thing. We gonna get persecuted soon enough. We ain't gotta rush into that. Another thing a pastor said yesterday, it was so powerful. He said, "We will follow the orders of the state until they go against the kingdom." That's heavy. So that's not really going against the kingdom to say, "Hey man, stay at home. It's COVID-19. We don't want you to spread it. Just stay at home and have service from home." That's not going against the kingdom. Feel me? You know what I'm saying? So I in my opinion, it's just cool to say, "Hey, Taylor congregation, hey man, we're not gonna meet this week." You know what I'm saying? Tune in live streaming or tune in whatever, and then we're gonna go live with it. You know what I mean? And so now he's arrested, and they are charged up thinking he's got persecuted. That's, to me, in my opinion, that's not persecution. It's coming, and we don't have to run into it. It's gonna come. You know what I mean? When Paul went to different towns and he was healing the sick, raising the dead, casting out devils, he went to certain towns. They was like, "Hey man, you better quit that preaching. You better quit that teaching. You better quit telling everybody about Yahweh, and the son Yehoshua." So that was against the kingdom. Feel me? That was totally against the kingdom. That stuff coming later in phase 2. Right now, stay in the house. It's no big deal. We do want to get out. We do want to fight. Not fight, but we do want to get out, and we do want to congregate. But that's not persecution. That's not persecution. Trust me. You store up prayers and supplication right now, because you don't have to run at that. You don't have to run at it. It's coming. But so they say stay at home. Stay at home. I mean, it ain't no big deal. Yeah, we know it's he was like, it's an essential business, and they he believed there's some other things going on. Well, that's cool. That ain't against the kingdom. Not yet. You know what I'm saying? When Nebuchadnezzar made a decree, Daniel was fine with it. He did everything Nebuchadnezzar in the system of Babylon said do. But then when they went against Yahweh and the kingdom, because we are sojourners, we're passing through. That's not our home. Feel me? We're just here. We set up a tent. Feel what I'm saying? We just setting up a tent. Even if you got a mortgage, and you bought a house. We setting up a tent. It's not our home right here. You know what I'm saying? This system, this grid, this is not our home. So we just setting up a tent here. So we ain't gonna get too comfortable here like that. Feel what I'm saying? I get a parable of the man with the parachute, and he know that the plane is finna go down. So everybody is sitting comfortable, and they leaned all back in the chair, and he's sitting up all crazy, and because the parachute is on his back, and they laughing at him, they mocking and scoffing him. He say, "Man, this plane gonna go down." I said, "Man, this plane ain't gonna go down. Man, this plane been flying for years, and we got a trusty, reliable pilot, and this plane ain't going down. And you're crazy, man. You're crazy." And it's like, "Nah, man." So I'd rather be sitting up with my backpack on, with my parachute on, uncomfortable for a little bit, because when that plane, when this turbulence start going and it start going down, I can just jump out, boom, hit the thing, and I'm safe. You feel what I'm saying? But the whole time you sitting there like, "Hey man, this plane gonna go down one day, man." It's a whole bunch of parachutes in the back. You need to go out and put one on. You might look funny, you might feel uncomfortable, but guess what? Hey, it's going down, and they laughing and they just having parties and talking about you and mocking and scoffing you, and it's like, oh, bro. So when turbulence start happening, don't ask for my parachute. You know what I'm saying? You had the opportunity to get a parachute. Now you're trying to run back there and get a parachute, and they got an executive order. You can't get a parachute. And they done locked the door, and you can't even get a parachute no more. That's crazy, man. But I don't know. That was weird. But anyway, I don't think that was persecution. Let me know what you think. Elephant Man Podcast Network, Grown Men Conversations dealing with elephants in the room. Subscribe, like, share. You don't have to run towards persecution. It's coming anyway. You know what I mean? Because it's going to be like, y'all can't assemble at all. Y'all not doing Facebook Live. Don't put nothing faith-based on Facebook Live. Feel what I'm saying? Don't preach no more. Because truth is going to be a hate crime in a minute. Feel me? It's already a hate crime in some. When you speaking truth, it's gonna be a hate crime, and they're gonna come up with more laws, more executive orders. And I'm not trying to, be a PE, you know what I'm saying? I'm 5 minutes off of Public Enemy. That was nothing but 1989, But so it ain't about being fight the power and all that. But it's just like, nah, man, it's for the kingdom. And if you're not with the kingdom or in the kingdom, you need to get in the kingdom. Put that backpack on and buckle up and be ridiculed and mocked and scoffed and be sitting upright and ain't feeling you uncomfortable. But guess what? You got that backpack, and that backpack is Jehoshua, Jesus the Christ, death, burial, resurrection. I know sound religious to some because I got different kinds of friends on here, but I'm telling you, man, he's the best. He's the only option. You know what I mean? He said, no one come to the Father but through me. And so we beseeching you, we begging you. We say, man, look, we need to get right with him, and we're gonna respect Uncle, but his law don't trump Abba. You feel what I'm saying? And that was not persecution. Elephant Man Podcast Network. Subscribe, like, share. First Lady elect Angela Blakely. What's going on? What's going on? Lisa Cosby. It's all good. And that's the first one. And I'm out of here. I'm going too long. 30 seconds. Perfect.